Hello everyone, welcome back to Crafts by the Bow. This should have been my Facebook Live today, but our internet is just very spotty and on and off. So I'm making it as a video instead. And these are the pieces you will need and the sizes if you wanted to take a quick picture. And what I'm making is a really easy, clean layout card. And I want to use the washi tape. The one with the flowers, this one. I know we have another one with the leaves. I haven't bought that one yet, but actually I'm liking the washi tape so much that it is on my list, and especially while it's free shipping. Okay, so I'm just going to move these out of the way. I don't have a card already made, so I can't show you that, but I do have some of the pieces ready cut, and I can show you those too. So I'm just starting off with a very basic piece of card, just chopped in half and scored down the middle, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4, and it's the bubble bath one. So that's going to be the base. And then I have some designer series paper already cut, and I wanted to choose, I'm not using the purple flowers, I'm using the pink ones. So I wanted to choose something that would go with this pink. And I don't have a lot of sort of not busy papers, but this is from the Mixed Up Patterns, and it has the bubble bath in it and strawberry slush. And it is literally just a lot of patterns, and they have been great for the backs of images. I've stamped on some of them. I've been able to, like stamp an image and a sentiment, and I just love having backgrounds. So let's put a couple of the pieces together. Okay, so I've also got Secret Sea, and let me just find that little piece again. I'll show you what I've done with them. So I've got 2 pieces of the Secret Sea cut at 4 by 5 1/4, and I have another piece cut at 2 by 5 1/4, because that's going to go down the middle of our card. Now I have embossed this, and this one is embossed with the beautiful pattern folder. And I've also embossed another one the same, but with the mini corrugated embossing folder. And I just wanted to show you that these are exactly the same size, they're the same length, but when you put it through that corrugated one, it just, because the paper crinkles, it just doesn't work out the same length. It takes up a little bit more space. So if you're using this one, you might want to cut it a tiny bit longer. Okay, right. And then the next thing I'm using is the washi tape. So I'm going to show you how I cut that and everything. This piece of card is 3 1/4 across, because that's just the sort of the width of the washi tape. But the washi tape comes in 2 colours. It has the purple set and then the pink set. And as you can see, my roll, the next one to use is the purple set, but that's not the one I want. So I pop mine onto just the white cardstock and roll out the pink as well. And I'm just going to press it across. I'll sort of straighten it up a little bit in a moment, and then I'm going to cut it off so that it would start with the purple again. And I only do that because when you use the die cut for it, this is the part of the pattern that the die cut starts on. So let me just find that and show you as well. So here's the die for it. Let me just smooth that down. I do like the look of it when it's on cardstock as well. So can you see how at the very bottom of the start of the purple, that's where the die fits. So if you cut it off there, you get a whole repeat pattern. And then this is the one I'm going to have. And what I do is I always pop a little bit of washi tape over it just to hold it in place, because this washi tape is quite smooth and feels beautiful, but I find that for me the die moves a little bit. So what I've been doing is just popping a little bit of washi tape just to hold it in place as it goes through the cutter. Now it's part of the Extraordinary Flora. Let me pop that back on there. You can see my little pieces of washi tape. And what I want to show you as well, I've got lots and lots of spare pieces, as you can see. These are the purples. So you can see that I use the pinks a lot. But it's also really pretty if you put it on a coloured card as well. This is, I think it's on Bubble Bath. Yes, it is. That's on Bubble Bath. This is on soft sea foam, and I love it for the leaves on the soft sea foam. I like that little green backing better than the white backing. And this is it on Fresh Freesia. Yeah, Fresh Freesia. So I always like to sort of cut extra, and then I've got lots and lots to play with. So I'm just going to pop that all back in there. We're not using the stamp set. I'm not doing any stamping today. I'm actually using die cuts. It's like a die cut day. I'm going to use the mini alphabet. I have already die cut that, and I've die cut it on a gold card. And let me see, let me move that out of the way, because I have actually already pre-cut in pink. I've only put it on the green background just to show you. Those flowers are just so pretty, but you can sort of imagine if this was on the soft sea foam and you get that green behind the leaves, it really does look nice. Okay, so let's just look at assembling the card. As I said earlier, it's going to be a very basic layout, but a really clean looking one. So I've got my base here, and I've got my 2 pieces of Secret Sea. I've got one for the front and one for inside. I'm going to adhere this one. And I will get this video onto Facebook and YouTube just as soon as I've got enough internet. Okay. And then here's the piece of Designer Series paper that I chose. Instead of being 1/4 of an inch smaller, I just made it 1/8 of an inch. I liked just that tiny little border of the Secret Sea to make it pop. I'm going to glue this on as well. And it's got sort of a squarely pattern on, but I thought it almost looked like a flower. So that's why I chose this one. Okay. Now I'm going to do the inside at the same time. So here's our other piece of Secret Sea and a piece of white. Now the white is cut with a larger border, and it's only sort of a larger border because, you know, here I've got 3 layers and here I've just got the 2 layers. So I didn't need the narrow border. And we'll come back to put something else on the inside at the end. Okay. Oops, I just rubbed something onto the card there. Let me just find my little eraser. Take that off. I think it was just a little bit of glue actually. There we are. Okay, all right. So the next thing I'm going to do is to put one of the pieces of embossed card down the front. Now, this, because it's been in the corrugated embossing folder, remember I said it worked out a little bit smaller, it still does actually just fit onto the Secret Sea. But this one, you can tell that it's a bit longer and it fits right to the top edge. So I'm actually going to use this one. And again, it's a lot of glue in today. There we go. I'm going to put that right down the middle. If you wanted, you could put it, you know, off to a side. But I want mine just down the middle. And you could also make this card so that instead of being portrait, you can put your things on and have it as a landscape layout too. I'm making mine portrait. Oops, I don't think that's very straight. There, that's better. Just didn't look very straight. And luckily, with using the liquid glue, I can just move it along a tiny bit. Okay, and then in the Secret Sea again, I've cut out, using the party banners, I think this was about the third one. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, oh, that's the fourth. I've cut out using the fourth banner and then one with the third banner in white. And they're just going to layer on top of each other to give us a place for our focal point. So it's going to go across here. But what I found I did like, I had some scraps of already embossed card in white, and I just cut out the same size in the white, and I really liked it because I'm not stamping. I really like the embossed one. So I'm going to go with the embossed one. If you were stamping, you would need to have it on the plain card. Okay, so let's glue these two together. And pop that on there as well. And this Secret Sea is one of my favourite colours at the moment. I love the ink instead of like our tuxedo black, instead of our magenta. And I think as the card colour, it just makes everything stand out and pop. Okay, now this is going to go on here, and I'm going to add it with dimensionals. Let me just reach and get some. If you were mailing this, you probably wouldn't want to be adding too many dimensionals to it or too many layers, because you want it to go through the mailing slots. And let's take those backings off. Oops. I'll get that one off. There we go. And again, if you were having this landscape, I would pop this going this way. But because I'm going portrait, I'm going to just have it here. You could pop it nearer the top. You could have it in the middle, wherever you feel, you know, your eye likes that. And I'm just going to put it sort of basically across the middle, but even, so that it, you know, it just makes it pop out a little bit, and it's just at a nice place for my eye. But you might like it a different way, and that's fine. Okay, so the next things I need are going to be my letters for here. And you know it's going to be quite a short letter. I tend to, let me just show you. I tend to do the whole piece of this die cut, but I know that a lot of people will cut narrow pieces of card and just put across the letters that they want. But I quite like having a lot of them left. And what I'll do is then I'll use sort of a combination of colours if I want to put a name or a happy birthday or something. So I don't mind having mine all cut, but if you only want 1 or 2 letters, then as I said, you can just put a little strip across the letters you want and just cut that piece out. I've been using these a lot. I think the size is really good. If you've got a long name and you're trying to get somebody's name on a card, this is the set to have. Okay, so I just want 3 letters, and I want it to say Mom. Let me pop these back in so that you can see I've got an M and a U. Let me pop that V back in, and these T's. But as as you can see, there are not two of the M's. So all I did was I used the W because it's exactly the same. Just upside down. Okay. So by the way I'm spelling it, you know that it's going to go to the UK, and it's Mother's Day there on the 15th of March, I believe. So I'm making my Mother's Day cards. And this, I'm just going to have it over here. If you wanted to have this already with adhesive on, what you can do is use the adhesive sheets. And I think, no, that one hasn't. Sometimes I'll put adhesive on the back, and then it's easy because it peels off and it's just like a sticker to put on. But these ones, oh, they have. Oh, that was a bonus. So these ones have got the adhesive sheet on. That just makes it easier to pop down. Try and get these straight. There we go. And you can tell that I'm putting it off to the right hand side just because I want to put some of our floral images that we've cut from the washi tape. I want them to go at the left, and I still want to be able to see the lettering here. Okay, so let's go back and find our flowers. And all I'm going to do, I'm not going to add lots and lots of them. I'm just going to add a few. And I know that this beautiful rose I'm going to put on the inside. So I'm going to do that first. You can keep a few and pop on the envelope. So I'm just going to add that into there. It's really pretty, aren't they? And then I'm just going to choose a couple to go over the front. I don't know yet if I'm going to have them going this way. Or actually, I think I might have them going over this top piece. And there are lots of little ones to choose from. You don't have to choose these bigger ones that I'm using. You can pop sort of a couple of these even. And that would look nice. And then maybe, one of the leaves behind. So just choose the ones that you want. I think I'm just going to pop like this. Yeah, I think I'm just going to put these on. I'm not putting too much. Yeah, I think that would work. And so because I've got it going over the edge, I'm going to put liquid glue where it touches this little banner, and then maybe a dimensional at the back where it's not touching the banner, but I need it to have some stability. So I'm just going to find my other dimensionals, the small ones. And then I'm going to pop one on that leaf. I'm just sort of measuring it as it goes along and seeing where I could get a dimensional and where I need to put the liquid glue. I'm going to pop liquid glue on the main piece, like this. But because that piece is standing up more, we can put some other pieces underneath so that they're flat on the card. They're not, raised up like these ones, but they will still look really nice. I think I'd actually like this one a bit higher up. Yeah, I think I'm going to have it the same so that it stands off the main card. I'm going to put one tiny little dimensional over here. And then just a little bit of glue here. Let me just see. Let's see if I can just pop it under there. And I can see that dimensional. I'm just going to move it slightly. I don't want to be able to see it on the card. I'm going to move it down a bit. There we go. It was just peeping through this little piece between the leaves. So there we go. I'm going to work out where that dimensional is. It's here. So there we go. And I'd probably put some, maybe just some of the gems or something on. I'm not sure yet. Let me just have a look. I've got a few faceted gems on my desk. Oh, yeah, it would look pretty with those on. Just to have a couple on. Okay, but I'll put that on after I've finished and show the picture. You could also make a little bow. This is from the Secret Sea Open Weave ribbon. I just happen to have it on my desk. So you could pop a little bow on there as well. That would look really nice. Or even down at the front here, if I trimmed the tails a little bit. So lots of different ways to jazz it up a bit more. But there we are. That's the card I was going to make for my Facebook Live. I hope you like it. I hope that you'll give these sort of easy layouts a try. I don't always want to make big fancy fold cards. I love them, but sometimes I think just a clean layout works really well. So thank you for watching me, everybody, and I'm sorry I couldn't get to you on Facebook Live. I hope to see you all again next week. Bye-bye.